Oh,
Oh,
wait,
no,
hold on.
wait.
Oh, almost.
Come here.
Wait,
Almost.
I'm over here. Hold on, wait. Yeah.
Almost.
How's it going, everybody? Hey. I don't see anybody else around, so it looks like this is another episode of Drinkin Solo. Yeah, Drinkin Solo. All right, so what have we got today? Let's dig into the old bag over here. Do, 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 do. Right. So today I have Turbo Dog by Abita. It's from Louisiana, so I might be butchering it. It's probably Abita. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so let's see what this is all about. It says it is a blah 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 blah. Oh, Abita Springs, Louisiana. 5.6% alcohol by volume. It is a brown ale. Let's see. Turbo Dog. Inside every dog, there's a turbo dog ready to break free. This very good dog has a rich dark color and body with a sweet chocolate toffee-like flavor. Turbo Dog is powered by pale caramel and chocolate malts and Willamette hops for runaway good times. Okay, I like brown ales. I like Newcastle. It's in clear glass bottles, though. Dark glass bottles tend to save it, but the clear glass bottles tend to let it get skunky pretty quick. So there's that. But when you can get a good batch of Newcastle that hadn't been sitting out in the sun and getting all fucked off, it's real good. I like brown ales. Okay, let's. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, bats. Let's open the beer. Okay. Down the hatch. Oh, that's good. That's really smooth. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but not too much. I definitely taste more of the toffee than the chocolate, and generally I'm not a toffee fan. But that's good. I guess it's the chocolate that kind of balances it out. That's really good. It's really smooth, kind of sweet. That's an all day drinking beer. Like that's good. I'm a fan. Okay. So on to the business at hand. Today I'd like to talk about Fallout first. So for anyone who doesn't know, Fallout 76 is an online multiplayer game. It has different modes. It has what's called an adventure mode, where you're on a big map on a server with a bunch of other players running around doing quests and things, similar to Elder Scrolls Online or similar to World of Warcraft, that kind of thing. Anyone who's familiar with Fallout, is basically a giant online multiplayer Fallout, and there is a PvP mode. In the adventure mode, you can fuck with each other, but there's ways to circumvent being griefed, so someone can't just repeatedly kill you when you're trying to do shit. There's ways to stop that. So Fallout first was introduced a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, something like that. Now about 3 weeks ago, I guess. And Bethesda had said from the onset of Fallout 76 that all additional content would be free. They instituted what they call the Atomic Shop, which is their little microtransaction shop, but everything up until a few months ago was strictly cosmetic. Ridiculously priced cosmetic, basically paint to $5 and $6 paint jobs, if you will. They added some other stuff in there that was cosmetic additions to stuff you could already get in the game. And everybody was basically fine with that until a few months ago when they started introducing things that were utility items. Basically, you could buy kits that if you're running around playing, instead of having to stop what you're doing and go back to your little base that you build to store your crap, you could just scrap it, what's called scrap it, or like there's junk items that basically you scrap and break down so that you can build armor and weapons and things like that. They introduced scrap kits, so you could just be like scrap, 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 done. Instead of having to find a workbench, they added repair kits so you could repair your items and weapons without having to go find scrap to break down to, things that people were whining about were pay to win. And I don't play the PvP mode, so I really can't say if they were pay to win, because I don't know if you could use those things in the PvP mode. I assume you can, but I still don't think I'd really call it pay to win. I mean, it just makes what you're doing a bit easier, because it takes a shitload of time to, if you're in the middle of a quest and you're on one side of the map, but your little camp is on the complete opposite end of the map, you've either got to throw your camp down and rebuild it, which costs materials to do, and it costs caps or in-game money currency. To do that, you can't just pick up your shit and move it. You have to pay and spend materials to fucking move it and rebuild it, which in and of itself I think is stupid. You should be able to pack that thing up and then sprout it down somewhere else without having to. So that's been one of my complaints. And don't get me wrong, I love Fallout 76. I have kind of gotten tired of it, so I haven't played a whole lot. The footage that you're seeing behind me is fresh footage that I went ahead and picked the game up. Again, since Fallout first got reintroduced, and I decided I wanted to do this video. So you're seeing current footage, or brand new footage rather, of me playing. But prior to doing this, I hadn't picked the game up in months, and there just hasn't. It's a little too grindy for me. Like, I'm okay with grinding to a certain degree, but like Destiny was all about grinding. I gave up after the first DLC of the first Destiny. They ruined that game, and Destiny 2 was just the same fucking thing. Fight me. It was garbage. So when Fallout 76 first came out, I did on my gaming channel, I did a 4+ hour run through the beta. I was super excited. I had been wishing, because I love Fallout, and Fallout 4 was by far my favorite. 3 was really good. New Vegas was really good, but I firmly believe 4 was the best one, in my opinion. And I had said for a long time I would give anything to be able to play this online with my friends. So when Fallout 76 was announced and the beta came out and all that, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. Unfortunately, it was not perfect. And yeah, there were bugs and stuff like that, but in this day and age, folks, if you can't come to grips with the fact that everybody has gone to this model of let's release a broken game and then make them pay for extra shit to fix it, that's just how it is. We can bitch, piss, and moan all we want, but obviously over the last 5 or 6 years, that trend has only grown, regardless of how much we've all bitched about it. So the only way you're going to stop it or have any effect on it is to quit playing the fucking games. Just quit. Stop buying them, stop playing them, put the shit down. And when they stop selling, then they might be more inclined to listen. As long as we're all buying them and playing them, bitching about it after the fact doesn't matter. They already got your money. It's like going to a concert, to a Michael Jackson concert. Let's he's dead and not touring, obviously. Tool. Tool is one of the bands that's very, very strict about cameras and video and even your cell phones. They will tell you when you go into a show, if we catch you on your cell phone videoing this shit, we will throw you the fuck out. And it's like, well, but it's my phone. Yeah, but it's their shit. And people sometimes, if they get caught and get thrown out, demand refunds. It's like, we already got your money. You paid. You broke the fucking rules. You're done. It's kind of the same thing in that if you buy a game, you should fully expect it in this day and age. It's going to be a broken fucking game, and just deal with it. if you don't want that and you want them to listen to you and stop releasing broken games and get to the point where they used to be, where when you got a game, it was complete. It wasn't broken. It was tested. It was done. It worked. It was cool. You might have found a few glitches here and there, but nothing like we have nowadays. So if you want it to change or you want your voice to be heard, stop fucking buying them and stop fucking playing them. It's that simple. That's why I don't. I kind of jump to the defense of these things where pretty much everybody else is just throwing them under the bus and shitting all over them, because I knew the risk going in and I took the gamble, and you got to consider what's a win and what's a loss. In the case of Fallout 76, what I consider a loss is that the questing system is so stupid. Obviously, we are all upset about the lack of human NPCs and the way the quest system is, where it's always a robot or a terminal, or it gets old. And it gets old really fast. Like once you hit level 50, everything kind of evens out. And like there's people running around that are in level 300s and shit. And one of my close friends that I play with is level 140 or 50 or something ridiculous. But once you get past level 50, you're not really leveling up anymore. You're just kind of moving stuff around in your character. So you don't ever get stronger necessarily. So it's kind of a weird system. Like, what's the point? Why didn't you just make the cap 50? Or raise the cap with the DLCs. They've added DLCs, which they did true to their word, leave them as free add-on. They've been adding shit into this game for free. And the thing is, folks, with the subscription service, I get that we all paid $60 or $70 for the fucking game. But when you're running a server-based game like that, there's ongoing maintenance, there's all kinds of stuff. And I find it hard to believe that they were making enough through just the cosmetic stuff in the Atomic Shop, that they were making enough to not only keep the servers up and try to meet our demands with fixing bugs and stuff and stopping hackers and still make a profit. They are still a business, folks. They still have to make a profit to pay their employees who make the fucking games. The higher up folks, board members, CEOs, COOs, things like that, could probably take a pay cut, sure. But you know what? Where did they come in? The ones who just walked into those jobs and didn't help build the company from the ground up, yeah, cut their fucking salary. I gotcha. So there's some folks that could probably take a pay cut. But, the people that are making them and keeping them up and all that deserve their pay. So if they're not making a profit, they can't pay those folks, and then we don't get bug fixes, we don't get patches, we don't get DLCs, we don't get fucking anything. So the subscription service is a way to bolster what they've been making from the Atomic Shop, because I guarantee you, I promise you, I haven't bought one fucking thing from the Atomic Shop, because I'm looking at the shit they're offering going, that's fucking stupid. I'm not paying $7 or $8 for a paint job or whatever ridiculous thing. And quite frankly, the game hasn't had enough going for it to keep my interest, which is sad. I've gone back to playing Fallout 4. And I normally play on my Xbox. I have an Xbox One X, but I've been Xbox since day one. But I have gone to playing Fallout 4 and Skyrim on my PC because the modding communities and the mods that are available and the things you can do with those games are far superior to what's available on the Xbox. Those games do have mods on Xbox, but there's just certain things you can't do with them. And the PC offers so much more you can do. And then plus, you get a limited amount of space for mods for those games. You only get like 2 gigs or whatever, so it doesn't leave you a lot of room to install different mods. On my PC, I've got probably 40 mods, not necessarily all running at once, but different things I can swap between and do different things. And there's new stuff I find all the time. Matter of fact, on the gaming channel, I'm probably going to start doing a video series of different mods that I find and play with. I've got a series up right now where I just went through a combination of 3 mods called Depravity, Outcasts and Remnants, and Project Valkyrie. that completely changed the game. Like I played Fallout 4 in a vastly different way than unless you've played these mods or other similar mods that completely changed the game. I played it in a completely different way. I didn't hardly interact with any of the normal stuff. This thing introduced all kinds of new voice characters and quest lines and all these things that still take you through the story, but from a whole different angle that you would never get to experience otherwise. So there's a lot to keep playing that. With Fallout 76, A, you can't do that yet. And B, it's just until they get the Wastelanders DLC out, which got pushed back to 2020 sometime, hopefully Q1. That's probably going to get me, along with a lot of other people, reinvigorated, and hopefully they fix the questing system, because they are saying they're going to have human NPCs coming back, dialogue and dialogue choices, and all the things we all loved about Fallout are finally going to be introduced into this game. Had they just done this from the start, it probably wouldn't have been as big of a deal, but we wouldn't be getting things like this if it weren't for the microtransactions and now Fallout First. And really and truthfully, everybody's been bitching about wanting private servers. Well, it costs money, folks, to have the server space to give everyone a private game instance. And yeah, when they first launched it, it was kind of fucked. But, you know, I don't know how many folks y'all know. I mean, if y'all are running in crews of 10 or 20 people that all play the same game all the fucking time, good for you. But that is not a majority of players. I'm sorry, but the evidence isn't there to back it up. I've launched private servers a couple of times since they launched them, and I've never had an issue. Never had just some random dickhead just pop in my game. If one of my friends, I've got 2 or 3 friends that play the game, if either of them was on, I could get them in with no problems. And in my case, they were not able to just join my game. It rejected them until I sent them an invite. But I haven't had any just random person jump in my game yet. So the Scrapbox debacle is what it is. I mean, they're not fucking testing it. But private servers, you got to have the server space to allow however many players, and it all costs money. So people complaining about it, the $13 a month or $100 a year, if you're gonna use the private server, is worth it. You're essentially paying to host your own fucking website. So it's the same thing. You've got to pay for server space. No one can afford to just give that out for free, especially if not enough people are buying the shit in the Atomic Shop for the microtransactions. I mean, there's got to be give and take, folks. You can't expect to pay $60 for a game and then get everything else for fucking free. It just doesn't work that way. That's not reality, and that's the problem with the gaming community. Yeah, the developers have gotten super fucking lazy, but like I said, if you want them to listen to you and hear your voice, stop spending your fucking money. If you stop buying the shit, they'll start listening. It's real simple. But server-based games, if you want your own shit and your own private worlds, you're gonna have to pay something. And $13 a month is not at all that exorbitant. Go host a website. You're paying minimum $10 to $15 a month for a shitty one. And that gives you no space to store videos or anything. Like, you might get a gig or two. So, I get the hate. I really do. I just think that it's overblown and blown out of proportion. And a lot of people are jumping on this bandwagon and shitting on the game because right now it's trending and it's popular and everybody's trying to get on the bandwagon and go viral. I'm just going to spit it from a real point of view. And I suggest you let that one marinate. Anyway, so I am a Fallout First subscriber because private servers are the first step to mods. We've been promised mods, and in case you hadn't gathered by the conversation, I'm a mod guy. I like it. I like it a lot. Because quite frankly, there are some games that are great. Fallout 4 and Skyrim both great on their own with no mods. Great on their own. But once you've played them 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 times through, it's kind of nice to see someone be able to give you something different with the same world and the same stuff that you love, or even add to it. So I'm paying it specifically for the ability to have the private server. And that's my reasoning. I don't care about any of the other shit they give you. The scrap box is fine. Now that they got it working, it does help because inventory management's a motherfucker in Fallout 76. But I'm literally paying the fee for the fucking private server. That's it. Because I have had a handful of griefing instances. It's not rampant, but I've had it happen, and quite frankly, I'm fucking tired of it, and I'd rather just have me and my friends and have the world open. Because I'm also sick and fucking tired of trying to do quests or some event or something, and there's some dickhead that already ran through where I went. Everything I need is fucking gone, and I've got to wait an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or hop servers, or fuck all that. It's bullshit. And I also have not run into yet where people are talking about they spawn into a private world and it's a reused instance where all that shit's gone. Never had that happen. I've gotten a new instance of the game every time. So, like right now, what you're seeing is me playing on my private server. There's fucking nobody there. Nobody. So, it is what it is, folks. You want these things, you want the game to be better maintained. It costs money. There's no way the developer can do it for free. They're hemorrhaging money doing it. So I really don't want to hear it, especially considering that Bethesda specifically only puts out a game every like 4 years ish, 3 to 4 or 5. Fuck, Fallout 76 was really kind of a holdover for all of us, so we'd shut up about Elder Scrolls 6. That game's been in development for a while. That and Starfield. I hope those two games are fucking fantastic. They're gonna have to be if Bethesda wants to stay open at this point because there's so many people shitting on them. But I mean, bottom line is, folks, none of this shit. They're not creating this shit for free. It costs time and money, and if you're not willing to pay for it, then shut your fucking mouth. It's that simple. You got a problem with that, you got a problem with reality. You got a problem with reality, you got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that one marinate. Fucking figure it out and go get yourself a fucking puppers. Drinking solo, folks. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm sure a lot of motherfuckers are going to be talking shit and hating on what I'm saying here. That's cool. I welcome all of it. If you like it, awesome. If you hate it, fucking A. Cool. Leave some comments. Get a conversation going. Fuck it. Episode 2, Drinking Solo. I thank you all for joining me today. And let me go ahead and plug this again. Funny Money by a company called Real Unicorn Productions. Check them out. They're good friends of mine. And I'm in the fucking show. So go check that shit out. Go to Amazon if you're a Prime member. Or if you're not, you can still find it. Go to Prime Video and search Funny Money. Should be the second listing. You will see the words Funny Money written in dollar bills. And you will see an awesome sketch of our wonderful cast. And yeah, I'm in it. So go check it out because you know you want to. Go check it out because the people that make it are fucking awesome people and they're friends of mine. And because I fucking told you to. Figure it out. Thank you very much, guys. Episode 2 is coming to a close, and look forward to seeing everybody again for the next episode of Drinkin' Solo. Later, folks. Oh, wait,
no,
hold on.
wait.
Oh, almost.
Come here.
Wait,
Almost.
wait. I'm over here. Hold on. Wait. Yeah.
Almost.